As the Western world becomes more aware of the atrocities caused by American power brokers, it makes sense to have a movie that responds and, more importantly, retaliates. This movie is One Battle After Another. The film follows a group of American revolutionaries as they rise up against the corrupt powers that be, but when blood starts spilling, they have to adapt quickly to survive. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio as one of the main revolutionaries. You know him from Titanic, Romeo and Juliet, Wolf of Wall Street, yada yada yada, you get the gist. But what's important and interesting about this is that he's done this kind of film before. 23 years ago, DiCaprio starred in Steven Spielberg's Catch Me If You Can. Granted, they're very different films. Different cast, different director, different period. But at their core, they're both films about men on the run in the land of opportunity. It's amazing how DiCaprio continually reinvents himself, going between two distinct performances. In Spielberg's biopic, he plays a teenager masquerading, going from blank check to blank check. He's the kind of guy who puts on a cocky swagger, as if he's trying to impress a girl in the corner of the room who's never really there. We see a dark side to the American dream, as young men chase money to the point of no return. The character of Frank is shallow and lonely, but it's only at the end of the film that we really comprehend how miserable and emotionally affected he's been. Yet in Paul Thomas Anderson's new film, he's dealing with a new beast. Rather than playing a teenage con man against the police, DiCaprio's playing a middle-aged revolutionary against the military. Playing the head of this covert military ring is Sean Penn as Colonel Lockjaw, who is also brilliant. He plays Lockjaw with the hungry nature of a piranha and the cunningness of ex-Vice President Dick Cheney, as weird as that sounds. God, he's off-putting. He has this unknowable motive like Trump that makes him dangerously capable, but completely unpredictable throughout the entire story. Having said that, One Battle After Another isn't all doom and gloom, and the director has been around the block once or twice, so he knows how to traverse genres and moods to control the audiences.
Didn't I warn you? That's that!
Although I wouldn't compare this to Punch Drunk Love, he similarly has this control over an audience's mix of emotions, so he can balance it without making it too sickly sweet or too dark. Sean Penn's fear factor is nicely matched by Leonardo DiCaprio's bumbling determination. And yeah, the political horror of it all is quite scary and not the most palatable for some people, but if you persevere with it, you'll see that there's light at the end of the tunnel. On a side note, the film is shot beautifully. It was packed full of beautiful vistas that were shot in very high resolution, making it amazing on the eye. Paul Thomas Anderson shot on real VistaVision film, which meant that there was a truly immersive 4K experience, as you could see every crevice and crinkle of the face on each of the characters. It really lets it all soak in. As many people will note, the needle drops are excellent. They're used quite sparingly across the film, which is a good idea because you have these classical pieces that feel like they're straight from a classic Hollywood film, dropped and weaved throughout the film that give it this grandiose that really just entrenches you in this feeling and this guttural roller coaster throughout the deserts. I wouldn't necessarily listen to the score alone, but in this context, it creates this deliciously nervy atmosphere that you can't help but sink into. But yeah, similar to how Conclave enraptured people last year and got a lot of Oscar buzz, One Battle After Another is doing the same thing. And I can see why. It's getting people talking about conflicting ideologies in an immersive, entertaining way. The televised news keeps painting things in a black and white way, but cinema's back to shake things up and change our beliefs. I'd give One Battle After Another a 9 out of 10. I would have liked a slightly longer epilogue that looks at some of the more peripheral characters, but still, it ends on a really nice note that is really rousing and enthusiastic. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.